I still remember the exact second the wire transfer hit my account. 12 million Canadian dollars, 38 years of my life, compressed into one notification tone. I had just sold Northridge Manufacturing. What started as a single lathe in a freezing Mississauga garage in 1986 had become one of the largest aerospace parts suppliers in Ontario. I built every machine with these two hands. I knew every employee's name, every birthday, every kid's graduation, and now it belonged to someone else. I was standing in the private dining room at Canoe, 74 floors above Toronto's financial district. The CN Tower was stabbing a blood-orange sky. Lake Ontario stretched out below like hammered silver, and the city lights flickered on one by one, as if the world itself was holding its breath. My daughter Sarah had planned this dinner. Just family, Dad, she kept saying. Intimate, special. She sounded so excited on the phone. I didn't have the heart to say no, so there we were, 4 people at a table that suddenly felt like a courtroom. Sarah, her husband Derek, and against all logic, my ex-wife Margaret. We hadn't been in the same room without lawyers for 5 years, yet here she was, because Sarah begged her. A bottle of 2010 Chateau Margaux sat breathing on the table. $2,000. Derek had ordered it, of course, doing that performance he always did, swirling, sniffing, lecturing the sommelier like he was born into money. I never understood what he actually did for work. Private equity, fund restructuring, arbitrage. Every explanation sounded like a foreign language designed to impress and confuse. Sarah looked beautiful, navy dress, her mother's eyes, my stubborn chin. 34 years old, and I swear I could still see the 8-year-old who used to fall asleep on the couch waiting for me to come home from the shop, covered in metal shavings and grease. Dad, you're glowing. She smiled as I sat down. It's done, I said quietly. Northridge is gone. Derek raised his water glass with that shark smile. To new beginnings, and to extremely smart exits. 12 million is life. Changing money, Robert. The way he said my name. The way he already knew the exact number. Something cold crawled up my spine. Then Margaret spoke for the first time all night. Her voice still sharp enough to cut glass. Robert, I do hope you've thought about proper wealth management. That's a significant sum to protect. I met her gaze. I've protected worse things than money for 63 years, Margaret. She gave me that courtroom smile. I'm only saying. Derek has excellent connections. He could introduce you to the right people. Derek leaned forward like a wolf who just spotted a limp. Actually, Robert, funny you mention that. There's a fund I'm personally involved with, very exclusive. Typical minimum is 10 million, but I can get you in 18 to 20, 2% annual returns, guaranteed. I almost laughed. I'd been in business since before he was born. If someone promises you 20% guaranteed returns, run. The first course arrived. Seared Hokkaido scallops with butternut squash puree. The server's name, Tag Reed James, mid-20s. Clean cut, careful posture. When he set my plate down, he hesitated, just for a fraction of a second. His eyes locked on mine. Pure terror. Then he moved on like nothing happened. We ate in a silence that felt radioactive. Sarah kept twisting the stem of her wine glass so hard I thought it would snap. Margaret picked at her food with that delicate disgust she always used when she wanted everyone to know she was above it all. I tried to break the tension. How's the shelter, Sarah? Her face actually lit up real, genuine light for the first time that night. The women's shelter in Parkdale was the one thing she still poured her soul into. It's good, Dad. Actually, we have a fundraiser next month, and I was hoping. She stopped dead, glanced at Derek, lowered her voice to almost nothing. You've always supported us before. Derek's jaw flexed like steel cable. Sarah, we talked about this. Give your father a moment to breathe before you start asking for donations. Her eyes flashed. I'm not asking for anything. The table went colder than the October wind outside. Then the mains arrived, venison loin rare with huckleberry reduction, James set my plate down and leaned in so close I could feel his breath. "Sir, please, come with me to the host stand for a moment. There's an issue with your reservation." I frowned. We'd been here 40 minutes, but his eyes, they were screaming louder than any words. I followed him past the bar, into a dark corner by the coat check. He turned to me, voice barely a whisper. "Mr. Holloway, I need you to stay completely calm. I'm a third-year medical student at U of T. I work here weekends to pay tuition. When I was setting places earlier, I saw your daughter pour a white powder into your wine glass from a small glass vial. She was careful, but I was coming. From her blind side, I saw everything. My heart stopped, then slammed back so hard I thought my ribs would crack. What did you just say?" "I don't know what the powder was, but it wasn't sugar. Your wine is the Chateau Margaux, the large Bordeaux glass. Please, do not drink it. I can have it accidentally spilled, or if you can get me the glass after dinner, I can test it tonight at the hospital lab." "Sarah, my little girl tried to poison me." James kept talking fast and low. "If I'm right, you need to call the police, but I understand if you need proof first. Here, take my number. I'm here until midnight." I walked back to the table like my legs belonged to someone else. Sarah smiled when I sat down. "Everything okay, Dad?" "Fine," I lied, forced a smile, sat and stared at the untouched poisoned wine, like it was a loaded gun. Margaret excused herself to the restroom. The second she was gone, Derek dropped every mask he'd ever worn. He leaned in, voice low and venomous. "Robert, let's stop pretending. You're not investing, are you?" "No." "Pity." He picked up my wine glass, the poisoned one, and held it to the light. $2,000 bottle. Seems such a waste not to drink it. My blood turned to ice water. "Then drink it yourself." He smiled, brought the glass to his lips, and paused. "Or maybe you should. Toast to family, to trust." He set it down gently. Sarah went through such trouble choosing it. Then the mask shattered completely. He told me everything. The gambling debts, his, forged in Sarah's name. The fund, a complete scam. He was drowning in real debt, the kind owed to people who don't send reminders. He had coerced Sarah into poisoning me, told her it would look like a heart attack, threatened to destroy her life if she refused, and if I didn't wire him $10 million by Monday morning, he would make sure Sarah took the fall alone. Emails, texts, the vial with only her fingerprints, a desperate daughter killing her rich father for inheritance money. The perfect story. I looked at that glass, at my daughter walking back with red eyes and trembling hands. And I made my decision. "James," I called loudly. "Terribly sorry I've been so clumsy." I reached for the wine glass and deliberately knocked over my water. Ice water flooded the white tablecloth. Chaos, napkins flying, servers rushing, Derek standing to save his suit. In those 3 seconds of pure distraction, I scratched a tiny mark on the base of the poisoned glass with my thumbnail and switched it with Sarah's identical one. No one saw, not even Derek. Dessert arrived, Valrhona chocolate mousse. Sarah looked like a ghost. Derek kept staring at my glass, the safe one now. "You haven't touched your wine, Dad," Sarah whispered. "Actually," I smiled at James, "I've changed my mind. Could I get the 2015 Brunello instead? And please refresh everyone's drinks." As James collected the glasses, including the poisoned one with my tiny scratch, Derek finally realized something was wrong. Sarah took one small sip from her new glass, then another, then she swayed. I don't feel right." Derek went the color of ash. "Sarah, what did you drink?" "Just water, and a little wine." "Derek, why are you looking at me like that?" I was already on my feet. "James, call 911. Right now. My daughter has been poisoned." The restaurant exploded into controlled chaos. Derek tried to run. I grabbed his arm with a grip forged from 38 years of turning wrenches. He wasn't going anywhere. Paramedics arrived in 8 minutes. Police in 12. Sarah was conscious but fading fast as they loaded her onto the stretcher. She grabbed my hand with surprising strength. Daddy, I'm so sorry. He made me. He said he'd kill me if I didn't. He said it would just look like a heart attack. I couldn't lose you. I couldn't do it. I'm so sorry. I held her hand the entire ambulance ride. Told her I loved her, that we would fix this, that she was safe now. The wine tested positive for ricin, lethal dose, purchased on the dark web from Derek's laptop. Paid with Sarah's stolen credit card. Sarah spent 2 weeks in ICU, another month in recovery, kidney damage, liver damage, night terrors that still wake her up screaming some nights, but she survived. Derek got 15 years. Margaret got 2 years probation. She knew about the scam, not the poison. Still chose a con artist over her own daughter. I took 5 million of the 12 and started the Holloway Second Chances Foundation for victims of abuse, coercive control, financial predators. Sarah runs it now. She's fierce again, alive again, helping women escape the same hell she barely crawled out of. Another million went to a scholarship at U of T Medical School, Toxicology and Emergency Medicine. First recipient. James Chen, the server who saved my life that night. He graduated top of his class. Now Dr. Chen still texts me every few months. Got engaged last year. I'm invited to the wedding. I'm 66 now. Hair completely white. Knees complain when it rains. But every single morning I wake up knowing I finally built something that actually matters. Not machines, not buildings, not even $12 million. People, second chances, redemption, that night at Canoe. I thought I was celebrating an exit. Turns out I was just getting started. Sometimes, the most dangerous poison isn't in the glass. It's in the person sitting across the table, wearing the face of someone you love. And sometimes, the greatest revenge isn't destruction, it's survival. It's turning the poison back on itself and building something beautiful from the ashes. This is Robert Holloway, signing off from a life I never expected and a legacy I never knew I'd leave. Sarah and I have dinner every Sunday now. Sometimes we go back to Canoe. We sit at the exact same table. We order the venison. We raise a glass of sparkling water. And we toast to second chances, because some wounds never fully heal, but they can still become the place where the light gets in.